Hey there, it's Dr. Kamisa. Welcome back to our video series. And today I want to cover a couple things. This is a continuation of how we get into the exam and how we do our structural assessments. So today I really want to cover two things. Oh, that's actually two things. The first is I want to cover how we do our balance and what we do with balance and why we use balance. And also posture, how we capture the posture, why that's important for us. So stay tuned, like our channel, subscribe to us, stay tuned, I got lots to share. Hey there, it's Dr. Kamisa. This is my third take on this video. The last one, I forgot to turn the volume switch on for my mic. Crazy. Anyways, so here we go. So welcome to our channel. I wish you could see how I have this set up. You would love to see some of how I have it set up. But anyways, so today I want to talk about balance and posture. And so, this is a continuation of our video series for our exam. So last time we talked about when I have to wear my cool glasses here, my power glasses, so I can look at you and find out stuff that you're not telling me on the exam sheet. Oh yeah, I just got neck pain right here, but or low back pain, whatever the situation is. So once we get past this stage, then we're actually getting into objective testing. And so the first thing we're going to measure is balance. And so people, oh, your balance is good, balance is good. So we're actually going to use a digital system. It's called Balance Tracks. We're one of the first clinics in the country to help prototype with this several years ago. And what it is, it's a force platform. You'll see some of the pictures. It's just a plate, but it has sensors in it. And the sensors are actually sensing how your body sways around, side to side, front to back, and it's measuring that in centimeters. And what this company has done is they have thousands of normal data for different age groups. And there's 4 tests, they're 20 seconds apiece. And so on the first 2 tests, you're on the hard platform, you'll see the picture, eyes open and eyes closed. And then for the last 2, and so on the second test there, so eyes open, eyes closed, we're actually just testing I like to call it our proprioception or GPS. Every joint in our body has got sensors in it that send information to our brain that I know my hands, I don't have to look at my hands, I know my hands are facing up, they're facing down, they're facing each other. We're testing that system. And then we add a dimension of difficulty to it. And now we're going to test eyes open and eyes closed we're going to put this on the hard surface. This is an Eric's foam pad. And when you stand on this cushy pad, your feet are like, whoa, they're all over the place. And you start to see people swaying quite a bit. And so when we add the pad, we're adding an extreme difficulty to our balance. And the last test of 20 seconds, eyes closed, standing on that, is one of the hardest tests for balance. And that's testing our vestibular system. And so what that really means is our inner ear, our balance, our GPS. So if you think of the coordinates, right, a crosshair, right, GPS. When we've taken trauma to the spine, when we've taken trauma to the head, I like to say that those GPS coordinates get knocked off balance. And so we want to measure that. So in this particular case, we've got 4 tests, 4 different scores. And you'll see on the chart here that in the top 75 percentile, they're all green. But in this particular case, this patient scored 80 percentile in the first 3 tests. Well, on the 4th test, he actually scored a 78. So the higher the number, the worse the balance is. That scored in at 40 percentile. So we already know, before I do any posture, before I do any x-ray, before I actually do an exam on him, testing range of motion and balance and palpation, I already know that something's happened to this upper cervical spine, this communication system from our brain through the reflexes in the back of our neck to our feet, back up again, and how this system communicates back and forth. So this balance system is extremely accurate. And so from fall prevention, from people that have osteoporosis, this is one of the ways we'll test their balance as well. But we see this in athletes, especially athletes, because they're so talented, they're so strong. I like to say that they have like raw horsepower and speed. So you look at them with if it's a guy, he takes their shirt off, he's chiseled. So he's got raw horsepower and speed, be able to push the building over. But we're looking at spinal stability and balance. It's a delicate system. And every time it's been traumatized, this system gets knocked out of balance. It gets deregulated. And so we want to find out where that is. Because if we're going to empower people to live their best day every day, we want to find out where are they breaking down, where are they weak, so that we can apply the right therapy to help them improve, in this particular case, their balance. All right, so now we're going to talk about part 2, which is going to be the posture. And so what you see behind me is a grid board. And that grid board is, you're going to stand up here, the patient's going to be here, and you'll see some of the pictures in the video. And the system we use is called Posture Screen. And Posture Screen is a biomechanical assessment posture tool that digitizes their posture. So it's going to ask where the left shoulder is, where the right shoulder is. And you know how I like to wear glasses, you know? So imagine if I had these glasses on, and you can see the balls on the side here, right? You can see there's a ball in the center here. Well, you could tell if my head is tipped like this, and if the computer's asking where these 2 dots are, the right side and the left side, you know that my head is going to be tilted to the left. Versus if I'm rotated to the right, we're going to see the left ear more than the right ear, and this dot is going to be in front of this dot. And obviously, so that's what the computer's actually doing. It's measuring different body parts, but I wanted to put these glasses on so you can see exactly what the computer system is doing. And it's funny because you'll see people, I see people walking around, and they're walking like this, or they're running like this. So they've got a left lateral flexion with a left rotation, forward head, they have a triple head combination, and they're running. So if one block is out of balance, then we know that the rest of them have to compensate for that. So anyways, so let's continue with the posture. So when we take those pictures, or we're just taking a regular picture with an iPad, and we're importing into the software system. That software is going to ask for all those different body parts, and then you're going to see you'll see on the screen here, there's just tons of data. It's measuring angles and displacements and measurements, but one of the coolest things that it does is that it measures your head weight based on your body weight, And it's a calculation, and then because of, if I turning to the side here and I'm measuring how far my head, so if I have my glasses like this again, right, and these are over my ears, and there's my shoulder, so the further my head goes forward, right, the more it changes the effective head weight. So I have an example here. I'm going to show you this. I have a bowling ball. So the bowling ball, this is a 12-pound bowling ball, and in this particular case the head weighs about 15 pounds, but this is 12 pounds. So if I'm on the side here and my head is forward, this bowling ball is going to drift further forward. And so the further forward that ball gets from your center of mass, the effective weight of it increases. So in this particular case, his head weighs 15 pounds. It feels like 33 and a half pounds. So I get people say all the time, oh, my head feels like it weighs a ton. Well, no, it weighs 33 and a half pounds. Or it feels like it's just this heavy weight on their shoulders. And so when we take a look at the posture, we like to say that the posture is a window to the spine. So you can imagine if my head is stuck forward or my head is shifted to the right, when I take an x-ray, that x-ray better match what's happening to the outside. So when they say the posture is the window to what's happening on the inside, you'll see that in some x-rays on the next video or two. But so we like to say that posture is the window to the spine. So now when we're looking at their balance, we're tracking 4 different tests to see if there's been any disruption in the communication, upper cervical spine. And then we're testing their posture before we even take any x-rays, before we even put our hands on them for palpation to find out ranges of motion and different things. We already have a tremendous amount of data that tells us it's starting to really hone in and pinpoint where their body is breaking down. Because if we're empowering people to live their best day every day, we've got to find out where they're breaking down. It doesn't matter if it's neck pain or low back pain or whatever the situation is, because the body works as a system. And so I need to know what's their posture like, because I need to know if I'm going to work on correcting their posture, then what posture exercises do I give them? Everyone is unique. Everyone is different. Everyone has complications and modifications to their postural exercises. And so when we look at this balance and posture dynamic, it's spinal stability and balance versus raw horsepower and speed. So we can have athletes, we can have people, weekend warriors that they work out 5 days a week, 7 days a week, whatever number you pick. And then when we look at their posture and their balance, they start to realize, yeah, no wonder I've got problems. And then we start to get into our previous video of all the different things from sleep dysregulation to GI issues. And so you start to paint this picture of, doesn't matter if it's a 20-year-old, a 40-year-old, or a senior, the more information we have, the more data we get, the more accurate picture we get of really their true real-time state of health. Because if we want to empower them to live their best day every day, we need data so we can use that data to help them get healthier. So stay tuned, like our videos as we go through this sequence of learning how the x-rays are done and learning how posture is done, trying to give you an overall view of why we are unique and different here at Ultimate Chiro Care. So have a fantastic day as we empower you to live your best day every day.